Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you all had an amazing weekend. And I'm back as promised to deliver content on online workshops. So I'm just going to, as we near 9 a.m., I'm just going to share across the different groups hang on a second. I've just done something on my computer. My live. Good morning, Kitty. Nice to see you. And I can see Tracy, Caroline, Catherine. All right, beautiful. So stay there, guys, because I'm just going to do a bit of a share around my couple of groups that are watching this as well at the same time. And then we're going to get started. Always jump on a few minutes early. How was your weekend? Did you guys have fun, and did you enjoy the hot weather? We've been still in the middle of Mission Declutter. I have to say, I have highlighted quite a lot of my list. Look at this. It's like almost more than half. Today I'm going to do a couple more sessions now that the kids are back in school. It was tough having them around the house, but let me just share. I can't talk and type at the same time. Just sharing the live at the same moment with the two groups. Copy and paste. Okay, one more group. Hey, Colin, you're in Fiji. How exciting. Oh, I hope you're having fun over there. I am home for how long? For at least 2 months. I'm not going anywhere on an aeroplane, which is exciting. That's a long period of time for me. All right, cut and paste, perfect. All right, so I've done all the techie things. Now we're going to get into, we might just have a bit of a chat for the next 3 minutes. I just want to be respectful of those that are kind of going to jump on right on 9 o'clock on the dot. But for those of you perhaps the first time on a UBS live call, these calls happen pretty much 80% of Mondays at 9 a.m. Melbourne time. Because the other 20% are generally am not home or I'm traveling, doing all sorts of stuff. Really this time of the year I'll probably be on every single week because I'm free. And I'm just doing bits and pieces, taking care of business, but in between just doing all the homely and family kind of stuff. You guys may have seen we set up our Christmas tree on the weekend. We always like to have it done 1 week before the 1st of December. We love the lights. We love seeing the lights at night and watching Christmas movies, this whole lead up period, which I think is the more exciting time than actually the actual day of Christmas, which is, of course, the climax of it all. And then you've got the anticlimax soon after that. So I'm really excited to be working, still continuing to work on the Dubai trip and filling the retreat over there. It's been amazing. I'm speaking to 2 people from over there today, and it really does make a huge difference, obviously, having a partner over there. And then we're going to get stuck into booking all our venues, flights, figuring out this USA tour and getting, the ball running there. But for now, yeah, as I said, it's all chill out time. All right, guys. So it's 9 o'clock. I am going to get going into the topic that I promised yesterday, which was all about running online workshops. And by all means, I can see comments coming up, and so if you have comments, questions, bits and pieces that you want clarified around this, please ask away. Now, I just want to give you guys a little bit of an opinion. I only literally did my very first online workshop last week. Now, the reason I put in brackets not webinars in the title of this live is because I have done webinars for the last 6 years. So I'm pretty good and confident and comfortable doing webinars. But this is a full-on half-day workshop to be run from the comfort of your own home for your target market or audience. And I want to talk a little bit about the differences. So first of all, what are the differences? Well, both are kind of a webinar, an online seminar, right? But I'm calling one an online workshop and one a webinar because a webinar, in my viewpoint, is about 45 minutes to 60, at the most 90 minutes that you would be on a call with people. And generally most webinars are free. and then obviously lead into, the next step. And what I have found in the past is generally the next step is something that's low cost, low risk, so that people, get to know you more or just get into that next level into your funnel. Whereas an online workshop is longer. It could go for half a day, for a full day. I mean, I know a lot of people who actually run conferences or 2 day, like trainings, that go via live stream for a couple of days. So it is longer. It is a paid workshop that people pay to attend. It also, the difference is like within webinars, when they're free, you get, used to be that 50% of people turn up. Nowadays, it's less than 30% that people would turn up that have registered for a free webinar, just like a free event. Like 10% of people actually in Australia, I'm not talking about anywhere else in the world, because every culture is different, but only 10% of people in Australia turn up to a free event, even if you do so much follow-up and, emails and reminders and all that kind of stuff. It's unfortunate, but that is the case. And so with an online workshop, of course, it's a paid workshop, and the way I did it is, of course, like standing up right in front of my whiteboard with my PowerPoint in the background of me, and not actually showing it on the screen and sitting like I am right now, which normally in a webinar I would be sitting just like I'm right now and having the PowerPoint in the background as well. So an online workshop, you need to set up, same as there's a webinar, you have to have set up a landing page, a sales page, and certainly to fill it, you will use the same marketing strategies that you would use as filling an offline workshop. Promoting it on social media, telling everyone, that you know about it, going out networking, telling people that's coming up. And of course, it's open. The benefit of an online workshop, it's open to anywhere in the world, except if the timing is not sort of kind in other time zones, that it's too late or too early for them to jump on the call. So you have to be mindful where you advertise it. And of course, the most powerful way to get bums on seats into your online workshop is to do Facebook advertising and sell tickets into it, okay? So what we did, so I'm going to just talk about our own experience. We priced our online workshop at $37. It was going to run the same format as our normal half-day workshop. And the other benefit, I guess, of an online workshop is you don't have the costs of having a venue, catering, all that kind of stuff, and of course you save time in travel and all that sort of stuff. Someone asked me the other day, and I think Kitty might have been you, you'd want to do a lot more of those. Certainly they're a wonderful way to keep, obviously getting in touch with your target market and, making sales and all that sort of stuff. But I'm still a strong believer that an offline workshop, a face-to-face workshop is second to none in terms of building a relationship, getting people to get to know you, for you to get a sense of who they are. What I found the worst, if you like, because I speak at 100 events live a year, I found that a lot of there was that disconnect where you can't energetically sort of feel what the audience is feeling, and you can't see the looks on their faces, you can't hear the tone of their voice. You kind of go, I feel like I'm standing up here talking to myself pretty much, and it just feels really awkward. Because I know my content so well, and I've done this particular workshop over 40 times this year and overall 120 times. I wasn't getting stuck or like kind of awkward or umming or ahhing or just feeling weird throughout it, but it was weird. Put it that way. It was are these people listening to me? Are they even paying attention, or are they playing on Facebook? All those kind of things go through your mind, and sometimes people drop out and come back in and all this sort of stuff. And it was just a funny feeling. Results wise, honestly, we got the exact same result as we didn't know it up until yesterday. We didn't know what the final result was, but it was the same conversion rate as I get in a normal live workshop. Now, the upsell in this online workshop obviously was into my retreat, which a lot of you know is $19,000. So it's a really high-end program. And certainly, that happened, and so the outcome out of one is, hey, it was worthwhile going through it. It was worthwhile investing the money on Facebook ads and all that kind of stuff. The return on investment out of one test, it was obviously that. Would I do them all of the time? I don't know. They say every beginning is hard, and perhaps maybe just my first experience of it was that it was awkward, and it was like I didn't really like it and all that sort of stuff. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it again. Probably we're going to put in 2 to 3 maybe in the year this style workshops to cater and capture those people who perhaps miss out on attending a half-day workshop that they've planned to attend. Maybe they were not well, people that are into the cities that we usually are not going to visit and do the face-to-face workshop, and of course the international audience. Perhaps something like this would be really awesome to do for the US market, as we lead into their retreat as well. So those kind of things, I'll definitely give it another go. I'm not saying no. Repetition is the mother of all skill, as they say. So I certainly will give it another go. So how did the day run? So let's talk a little bit about logistics. Good morning, Costa. I hope you're doing well. So logistics around how did it run, and how did we set up and all that sort of stuff. So I'll just give you those details. And by the way, if you have any questions around it, then certainly post them up as I'm talking. I can see the comments on there. Okay, so would you say, hang on, there's just one that's popped in. Would you say this time the audience wasn't as interactive as face-to-face? Oh, absolutely, Kitty. They weren't. It was, at some moments, it was like pulling teeth. Seriously. So come on, guys, give me a comment or something along those lines. And look, we didn't have a huge, on a webinar, sometimes I'll have 80 to 100 plus people, and you'd have the 5 or 6 people that are really chatty and interactive and all that sort of stuff. But because this was a paid workshop, it wasn't it was like the similar size, like 20 people in my half day event. Well, sometimes we get 20, 30, 40, but we had like about 20 people that registered, about 13 that turned up, and then people were coming and going and all that sort of stuff. So we didn't have if you have bigger numbers, of course, you'll have a lot more interaction. But look, we've got through it. Either way, but it was, be ready, for some audiences are not going to be as interactive, and that applies for within the room as well. So that's the answer to that question. So let's get into logistics. So we gave ourselves about 4 weeks to fill this half-day workshop, obviously with Facebook ads and, some emails out to our database and all that kind of stuff. I was overseas in Dubai, so all of this was happening, while it was away, which was a great thing to just come back to and be able to host and run. And we probably spent double, don't quote me on this, but I think double than what we got back in terms of ticket sales at the $37 price point. So say we sold 20 tickets at 37, so that's just under $800. I think we might have spent $1,200 on Facebook ads to make this online workshop happen. Hey sis is watching now. Okay, so then other things, we sent normal reminder emails as we do with every one of our events. The 10-day out email, the 3-day out email, the 24-hour out email as reminders, and then the 3-day out SMS and the 24-hour out SMS that got sent out as a reminder to confirm that people are coming. We hosted it via Zoom And via Zoom, there's an option where you can set up a password entry into a call. So Stuart did a password for them. So when they log onto the call, here's your password in terms of how you get on. It looks a lot more professional. That's what he had heard or read about it. And so therefore we set it up that way rather than just allowing them to come into the call. And so then they came into the call. Thanks, sis. So then they would come on the call and we would obviously confirm. I opened up the call about 15 minutes before the online workshop started. Just in terms of a registration time, I just thought, welcome people, make sure they can use the chat box, make sure, they can see and hear us. What I ended up using, let me see if I've got it here. Actually, let me just grab it. What I ended up using, which was a lot better for the sound when they could hear me, is one of these microphones. So this microphone's got like a 3-meter cable, and obviously I just hooked that onto me because initially I started off without it. And then when I got someone off the call to do a book unpack with them, because I do that in my normal workshop, and that was a lesson in there anyway that I learned that I'll share in a minute. But this little microphone is called Movo, M-O-V-O. And then people could hear the participant really well, but I came across really quietly. So when we finished the book unpack, I plugged this in and they were like, could hear me super, super well. But the only disadvantage with this is if you plug it in, then if you take someone off mute, you actually can't hear them because it kind of goes into that the audio plug, and then they can hear you really well. As long as you don't need to hear them, then it's better to have it plugged in. So that's my tip around that. So before we started, the night before, we set up 3 computers. We had one computer set up at my TV, which is where I ran my PowerPoint through. So I could go through my PowerPoint as I normally do in a workshop. What I ended up doing is creating a PDF copy of the PowerPoint without the videos. And then I uploaded it into Dropbox and had the Dropbox link, which I sent as people were coming along on the call, said go and download the slides here. And when I needed to play videos, I'd move my computer to the TV so they would properly see the video. Because sometimes if you're playing video through the computer and you have it on that share screen, like my PowerPoint on the actual computer, it may not come through as well because of internet, broadband and all that sort of stuff. But we found that this worked really, really well. And so we needed 3 computers. So we needed the one that played the PowerPoint on the TV. The second computer was the one that was live streaming or using Zoom that I was in front of, and I had that set up on a toy box, so it's the right height. I got properly dressed up as if I'm presenting in a live workshop, and Stuart was then on a computer behind me, behind his second computer. And I even set up my video light. So my video light is that light over there that you can see in the corner. And I set that up just to put it towards me, so to give a little bit more brightness and a crisper picture. Obviously, you got to make sure your lighting is good. I had my little whiteboard there as well, because that's where I did the book unpack. And of course, Stuart was on that 3rd computer, logged into the call, and being able to privately respond to people and manage any techie challenges. So you don't want to do this by yourself. You want to have a second helper there. Thank you, Kitty. I think that's my signature online, because I did that red dress. I actually filmed the Ultimate 48 Author online course in, so that was really interesting that I used it in that online event in that. So techie wise, we're set up obviously with the audio, the visual, everything, and as I said, the first 15 minutes we allowed people to say hello, to make sure they can hear us and all that sort of stuff, and we sent them the PowerPoint slides as they logged onto the call. The other things logistically that we had set up, I think I had one other document that, the book unpack document. So when we were about to do the book unpack with a participant taken off mute, and everyone else. So that's where it got really strange and awkward, because in a room you're masterminding ideas and sexy names and book titles and taglines and all that sort of stuff. But online, like, you know, to get those responses of people and the typing and all that sort of stuff, it just was, because they couldn't hear me as well, but they could hear loud and clear the person that was taken off mute. It was just a bit difficult, the back and forward, to guide that whole process. So in future, I would probably do that part a little bit differently, or I would go through a book, unpack, just personally without taking off anyone off mute, to just show the process and teach it rather than doing it interactively. I would just need to think through exactly how I would do that. So something interactive where you're trying to get other people to brainstorm and all that sort of, it's wonderful in a live room, but in an online event can be quite difficult. I think in the end of the day, we managed it really well. Con's saying, how many workshops would you do a month? This online style workshop, I probably would only do 3 or 4 of them a year. Not like all of the time. I found also the timing. Francesca actually said when she ran hers, she ended up finishing half an hour early, and she would only schedule 3.5 hours for mine, which is normally 4 hours with the break and everything. And I actually went over, like I said, I can't believe you scheduled 3.5 hours. I need 4 hours to finish all this content and all this sort of stuff. But Costa, I do 35, if not closer to 40 live workshops face-to-face. So that's the one that you have. Hey, Bradley. That's the one that you have attended at our home. I did, I think, about 35, close to 40 of them this year. You know, obviously around Australia, Dubai, the US, and everywhere. I think Australia only was about 28, and then add on the 5 in the US, and then add on a couple from Dubai, and then the online one. Overall, they probably would add up really close to 35, 40 workshops of this style, the half-day event. And through these half-day events, obviously, we are looking to fill 5, 6 retreats, because I'm just adding on the 4 Australia, the one in the US and one in the UAE. So we gave them a break halfway through as well. So as we would run a normal face-to-face workshop, we did the same thing, running the online workshop. Basically, we went through to the end of the book Unpacked. We then had our 10-minute, I gave them a shorter break because I knew I was really strapped for time, because Stuart had only booked me in for 3.5 hours instead of the 4. So I would definitely allow for the same amount of time. Now, let's talk about the timing, or like the amount of time that people need to be online with you. Basically, the ones that are really interested in what you're saying and what, everyone got the feedback was amazing. Like, people said, that was so cool, this was so valuable, I learned so much. If they had to leave early, they said, I'm sorry, I gotta go, I'll watch the recording later. Of course, yes, we did send the recording on the same day, so we had a follow-up thank you email, and we had a time-sensitive, obviously, offer that we told them about, and we did all the post follow-up emails and SMSs as we normally would, and we even sent them a bonus footage. So what I did is, because I have got my live workshop filmed professionally, I sent the online one, but I said if you would like to watch a different version of the same workshop, here's a bonus recording of the professionally filmed one. So I gave tons of value. The call to action. So let me just see. I've started my masterclasses with 10 clients per time. It's a good number. Yeah, it's an amazing number. That's great. So when I went, what was I going to say? The call to action. That's right. The call to action. So how did I execute that? I used a booking software called ScheduleOnce.com. And within that, I created an event, which was like a qualifying chat link where people could go and book in, and then that would then divert them to a questionnaire as well. So in the room, we give out the questionnaire on a piece of paper in a live workshop, but online, I had it set up to book themselves to their 15-minute chat, And then secondly, they get taken to a questionnaire, which they fill out. And then I had them scheduled same as any other time, 15-minute sessions straight after the workshop finishes up until 48 hours post the workshop, because our fast mover offer is a 48-hour offer, and then obviously it expires and we go back to normal pricing and all that sort of stuff. So I had that all ready to go. So I had 3 links set up that I had sort of put in my notes, and Stuart was in charge of posting these in the comments, because I was there just speaking and not touching any technology or typing. I was just obviously speaking back at people, and whenever I'd say, Stuart, post this link for people, post this that link, they would be able to get it, and it was sort of it flowed really, really well, and people used it, booked themselves in, we had qualifying chats, and of course as a result we got sales. So was the online event workshop worth it? Yes, absolutely. Was it awkward? Yes. Would I do it all the time? No, not all the time. Not all the time. I'm not a person who would lock themselves in their house and just kind of do online workshops all the time. I think I could build a viable and a sustainable business purely from it. Yes, I could, but it's not going to, of course, satisfy all of my wants and desires as to how I want to operate in business. I do want to go to other places. I do want to meet people. I'm very much a face-to-face person. So what they say in terms of success in business is you need to operate within your biggest strengths. And if you haven't done your strengths, like what are your top 5 strengths, look up Gallup Strength Finder. When we finish the call, I'll type it into the comments so you guys can go. I'll even put a link where to go and do it. It's a $15 US test that you take, and it sort of gives you your top 5 strengths. And my 2 top strengths are woo, and that stands for WOO, winning others over. And the second one is achiever. And within those, when I think about, woo, and when you read the description of what it is, for my personality, it is about, meeting new people and being with people and winning them over, right? And I get, that's where I operate the best. And, your wealth is hidden within your top 5 strengths, right, of what you do. And so the second is achiever. I want to go out somewhere, because if I'm at home, I don't feel like I'm achieving it. Even right now, you guys have seen me. I'm doing mission declutter and I'm doing home projects. So actually every single day, even though I'm free and I'm not sort of doing too many businessy things, I'm achieving something every single day. Yesterday, we even put tinted film, mirrored tint onto our front doors. I even learned how to tint windows. Then we put up put up a hose, like a retractable hose in our backyard. So I'm always doing lots of different things. So what I'm saying is, you got to figure out what's the thing that really floats your boat, if you like, because that's the thing that's going to enable you to be the most successful within it, and therefore that's the thing that you're going to monetize and you're going to get known from people. So that's what I'll continue doing. And when you find something that works for you, then stick with it. Certainly it's worthwhile trialing different things. Like the other thing that I haven't really placed a lot of attention or money into is my online evergreen webinar funnel. So I've got this evergreen webinar funnel that has been set up that is running over and over. People are booking through it, even though I'm not running ads to it, because it's been advertised in my Author Your Way to Riches pin post and a couple of other profiles that I've got going on. So it's operating, it's getting me calls and conversations, but wait till the day I actually properly put advertising into it and send traffic to that evergreen webinar funnel. Now that's another way of me being able to generate retreat participants and actually get a sales team on board to be taking the calls to convert people in that way without actually me even having to do an online workshop. So there are 3 different options of how I can find my authors, my first-time authors. It's obviously the one that I do all of the time, which is my half-day live event and traveling everywhere to do it. Then there's the online workshop that I did last week. And then there is obviously the evergreen webinar funnel that is set up as well. So there are different options to reach the same ultimate destination and result. It's just a matter of figuring out which one works for you. If you're starting out your business, live is, and you're wanting to get it to a certain point, live workshops, live anything, offline anything is going to get you to a result a lot faster than online. I've always been a big believer that you get famous offline before you get famous online. And I think if you actually have a conversation with successful people and ask them, so what did you mostly do to grow your business in your first 1 to 3 years when you really were at your starting point, they will tell you that, you know, they were out there face to face, pounding the pavement, meeting people and building their local network, and then slowly expanding, and that following as they grow, you know, people follow them more online and they become a thought leader and all that kind of stuff. And then of course their business can be more online. So that's my sort of insights for this morning. If you do want to get a copy of the online workshop that did happen last week, I'm happy to sell that at $27. The normal price was $37. So just let me know and I'll give you a little link, and then I'll give you, once you pay, I'll send you the actual footage of that online workshop so you can actually see that, and I'll throw in the actual live one. So I'll send you the footage of the online version, how it looked being through Zoom, and I'll send you one of professionally filmed half-day face-to-face event. Same similar content, of course, said a little bit differently because I always say things differently. But yeah, I'll send you those two. And the other thing, for those of you that have purchased my Ultimate Business 2018 Planner, guess what? It starts today. It's actually starting, see here, 27th of November. So that says December because obviously December starts right here at the back of the week. But this is actually 27th of November. So if you did buy this planner, it starts today. So I've just literally started using it today. I'm super excited. I can stop carrying around 2 planners. I love that I make these start a little bit end of November and they go through, I think, all the way through to end of January. If you haven't got one, just go, I'll post the link just below this as well. It's bit.ly/2018 planner. I think the garage has it around 50-ish left. We always get a big surge now over December, January, and they will definitely sell out. So there's pink and black ones as well. So I can't wait. That's it. I'm getting rid of, because these guys are heavy. Like, there's 800 grams to hold, and carrying around 2 for a little while, trying to transition from one to the other is has been a bit annoying. I know they're big, but they're bigger for a purpose anyway. So that's me for this morning. I hope you guys picked up some tips and insights. If you watched this recording and you didn't watch the start of it, but then you go back and do it, then post the questions below this. Obviously, I'll be notified, so therefore I'll see it and I will answer it for you. And go forth and try your first online workshop. You know, you never know how it's going to turn out until you try. And until yesterday, I didn't even know if it was valuable. But certainly I got the same outcome as I do in an online or offline workshop, the same conversion rate, and it was worth it because what we invested, we got back tenfold in terms of running it. So have a wonderful week. I'm off to do another section or session of my Mission Declutter. Look at all those highlighted things. I'm going to do the girls' bedroom today in my chest of drawers. And then everyone's in school and we're going to finish it. So literally, I reckon we would have decluttered our whole house in 7, maybe 8 days. Every single area, every single section. And God, obviously you guys know, it feels amazing when you get it all done. There's tons of room. Everything's just minimal and put away. And so we can focus. This is actually how we get shit done with Stuart throughout the year, is because everything has a spot. And we can find stuff super fast and there's no mucking around. We just go. All right, guys, have a wonderful week. Let me know what sort of topic you might like me to discuss next week. More than happy to bring anything to you. This topic was asked about lots of times over the last 3 or 4 weeks, so I thought I'd talk about it today. And go smash out whatever you got to do this week. I'm going to continue my mission declutter, and hopefully next Monday I will report back that we finished everything and we're into the Christmas spirit of it all. Have a wonderful week. Bye, guys.